Let's be honest, writing documentation, usually a developer's least favorite chore. We absolutely love writing the code, but when it's time to actually explain how to use it, yeah, the enthusiasm kind of drops off a cliff. But what if you could build a genuinely gorgeous professional documentation site using just the basic Markdown you already know and use every single day? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into mkdocs. Now, in our previous discussions, we looked at tools built to extract deep technical details right out of your code. But today, we're shifting gears. We're looking at a solution that prioritizes absolute simplicity and speed for user-facing guides. It's going to give you a really comprehensive understanding of the whole Python documentation landscape. And honestly, it might just make you actually enjoy writing docs.
Here is how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at mdocs versus Sphinx. Then, getting started with mdocs, previewing and styling those docs, building and deploying sites, and finally, choosing the exact right tool for your needs.
All right, part 1, mdocs versus Sphinx.
Now, think about the Python web framework landscape for a second. On one hand, you've got Django, right? It gives you absolutely everything out of the box. It's comprehensive, it's powerful, but it's kind of heavy. On the other hand, you have Flask. Flask gives you this minimal, lightweight starting point, so you only build exactly what you need without all that extra overhead. Well, that exact same dynamic exists for documentation. Sphinx is the heavy lifter. It's the Django of this world. It's designed to pull complex technical details straight from your code's doc strings and build massive reference libraries. mdocs, on the flip side, is your Flask. Its entire focus is on turning a simple collection of Markdown files into a polished website with practically zero friction. It's that deliberately lightweight starting point for your docs, stripping away all the complexity for when you just want to write out some clear instructions.
Moving right along to part 2, getting started with mkdocs.
So getting started literally takes mere seconds, which is exactly what you want when you're just trying to document a quick project. You just install it via pip, like any standard Python package, and then run mkdocs new, followed by whatever you want to name your project. Instantly, mkdocs scaffolds this super clean, logical directory structure for you. You don't even have to guess where things go. You get a dedicated docs folder, specifically meant for your content files, alongside one absolutely crucial configuration file that ties the whole shebang together.
And that crucial file is mkdocs.yml. You can think of this thing as the master control center for your entire website. The beauty here is that because it uses human-readable YAML syntax, you don't need to write any complex Python code or figure out some deep markup language just to manage your site settings. You literally use this one single file to set your site's title, pick a visual theme, and map out your exact navigation menu so your readers know exactly where to go. You just outline the structure you want, point to your different Markdown files, and mdocs completely handles building the actual sidebar and navigation hierarchy for you. So simple. And when it comes to writing the actual content, you just drop standard Markdown files right into that dedicated docs folder? That's it. You're using the exact same headings, the same bullet points, and the same code blocks you're already using on GitHub or Reddit or Notion. There is zero steep learning curve here. You don't have to memorize a super complex specialized syntax like Sphinx's restructured text format. You just sit down and you write. It completely removes that annoying barrier between your thoughts and the published documentation, which makes the whole writing process incredibly straightforward and super efficient.
Let's look at part 3, previewing and styling docs.
If you have ever used older documentation generators, you know the absolute pain of finding a typo, fixing it, manually rebuilding your entire documentation suite in the terminal, and then refreshing your browser just to see that one minor fix. It totally breaks your flow state, right? Well, mdocs eliminates that headache entirely. By running the very simple mdocs serve command, you spin up a local development server with hot reloading built right in. The instant you hit save in your code editor, your browser preview automatically updates in real time. Seriously, it is an absolute game changer for your workflow, letting you see formatting changes the exact second you type them. Now, out of the box, mdocs looks good, but the highly admired third-party Material for mdocs theme, that makes it look spectacular. Honestly, it can make a solo developer look like a massive tech enterprise. It equips your site with this beautiful, modern visual design, a highly responsive built-in search bar that just works immediately with zero extra setup, and the ability to organize complex guides into these clean, clickable tabs. It is so robust and visually impressive that major enterprise open-source projects actually rely on it as their official documentation standard. And the crazy part? It takes your standard Markdown and wraps it in a world-class UI with just a single line change in your YAML file. No way it gets easier than that.
All right, part 4, building and deploying sites.
So your docs look great, and deployment is just as frictionless as the initial setup. Running mkdocs build generates a folder of highly optimized static HTML files. You can take those and host them anywhere you want, from an AWS bucket to just a basic internal company web server. But if you happen to host your code on GitHub, it gets even better. One single command, mkdocs.yml, will automatically build your site behind the scenes and push it live directly to GitHub pages. In literally one step, your documentation is compiled, deployed, and live for the whole world to see. You never even have to configure a web host.
Part 5. Choosing the right tool.
So, with all that said, when do mdocs' strengths shine the brightest? Let's ground this in a practical, real-world scenario, just so you know exactly which tool you should reach for on your very next project. Let's say you're tasked with building a comprehensive internal knowledge base at a company, say Uplatz. Your audience isn't just senior engineers. We're talking marketers, HR reps, and sales teams who need really clear step-by-step user tutorials for your internal software. You definitely don't have code doc strings to extract, and you certainly don't need deep Python API references. You just need to write fast, clear narrative guides that literally anyone can follow. This is where mkdocs is absolutely unmatched. You write the guides in simple Markdown, slap on a clean theme, and boom, you get a professional, easily navigable site immediately. It totally bridges the gap between your technical and non-technical teams.
Okay, here is your definitive decision matrix. You're probably going to want to rely on this breakdown repeatedly throughout your career. If you are building a complex Python library and you need to automatically generate deep, exhaustive API references straight from your source code, Sphinx is still the reigning champion. It is literally built for auto-generation from doc strings. However, if your primary goal is writing manual, user-facing narrative guides, tutorials, or just general project wikis, mkdocs is the clear winner for speed and simplicity. They serve two entirely different purposes, and knowing exactly when to use which, well, that's the mark of a seasoned developer.
Of course, documentation is really only half the battle when releasing software. It totally doesn't matter how great your guides are if people can't actually get your code onto their machines, right? Once your reusable Python library has beautiful documentation, whether you went with Sphinx for that deep code integration or mkdocs for its Markdown simplicity, you're going to need a proper way to package it so others can easily pip install it. And that perfectly pivots us into the subject of our next explainer, where we'll unpack exactly how to package your Python projects using setup tools.
So now that you understand the dual landscape of Python documentation, the ball is completely in your court. Are you going to harness the heavy-lifting code integration of Sphinx for a complex technical library? Or will you embrace the streamlined, Markdown-driven speed of mdocs to spin up a gorgeous tutorial site in a matter of minutes? Whichever route you choose, you now have the tools to stop dreading documentation and start building something truly great. Which framework will power your next big idea? Thanks for joining us on this explainer, and keep learning.